Okay, Uzo, thank you for joining us. I want you to just, if you would, start off by introducing yourself and by all means use your new title and your new company.
Well, okay, so my name is Uzo, and I'm a graduate of the great things Yellowtail is doing. I currently am a Linux administrator, engineer at Genesco. They are like, maybe I shouldn't say all that, but they own like Journeys, Journeys Kids. Yeah, I never would have known about them that they what they really do if not for Linux. But yeah, so right now that's where I work. And yes. Oh,
Awesome. Tell us a little
okay.
bit about like how you got started in tech and what brought you to Yellowtail.
Okay, so my background actually I had worked in nonprofit for 7 years. I worked in the Philippines before I moved over here to the US, and I thought I was going to go into nonprofit, but nonprofit project management, I should say. And then I also got to work in healthcare, but I knew I wanted something different, and I will say that the pandemic helped me make my decision, because
Sure.
before I was just I was messing around, not messing around, but like, oh, tech is great, this OS is all this, but I thought it was something that special people do. I thought really,
Okay.
really smart people. I thought, okay, it's not for me that English, is arts is what I was good at. Other members of my family, engineering, they're smart, but me, it's arts. But Yellowtail, I would say, changed that for me. So during the pandemic, I moved to a new city and I could not find a job in project management. I had to do everything. But at that point, I knew that it was now or never for me to make my decision to, change careers, do something that I, just pivot. And I've been eyeing tech, and then I came across Yellowtail's ad. And then I booked a call with Zuby, and he walked me through stuff. And I think that maybe that's when everything started changing.
Okay. And so
Yes.
you didn't have any technical experience under
No.
your belt prior to coming here?
No. At that time, no. I had no technical projects, writing reports, making projects, but that was my background, nothing in tech. Even I did some learning by myself, but it all didn't make sense. I felt like I was going down a rabbit hole of here and there, but I knew nothing.
Yeah.
I knew nothing. And I can segue into saying that was one of the reasons why I decided to go with Yellowtail, because, there are many, they're different. But it was the Yellowtail program was geared towards people who had no IT experience, and they were going to walk us through. And I don't know whether I should say this on the video here, but deep down, I didn't believe that I had to go down they tell you, oh, if you want to work in tech, you have to be a help desk. You have to start up at the bottom and some.
Yeah.
But yes, some people have to. I'm not saying that, that's not the path, but Juby, when I talked to him, he knew, he knew he had provided there was a path. It was not just in the air. He was like, from here to here, a structure. And I know I needed that structure.
Yeah. So,
yes,
part of going through the program is getting your Red Hat certification. How was that experience through Yellowtail? Did they help you prepare for that exam?
Like I mentioned earlier, structure. They had a plan. And I remember when I started, our instructors just said, trust the process. We have everything. This is the end goal, and we have everything in place to take you from point A to point B to where you want to go. And it got to a point that I had to let go and trust the process. It wasn't easy, let me say, because it's new. You're something that your brain has never whatever before. You put in the hours, what you put in is what you get. But one thing I can say is that there was that structure, because if you can try to do it on your own, but you're going to, like me, I was going to a rabbit hole. Today, I find this shiny object and I'm running down that path. Tomorrow, I'm running down that path. And at the end of the month, I'm like, what have I achieved?
Yeah.
Nothing. But the Yellowtail, there was structure, like this is where we're going. We could see it. We give you the tools. You take it and do what we can. We're giving you all we can. So you walk it. And that's why I like that. That's why I like. So we're prepared for the exam, and not just the exam. I'll say we're prepared for even after the exam. Let me say, we're prepared. We were given the foundation, and I like that, and I appreciate that in hindsight.
Now, after you completed the program and got your certification, you participated in the apprenticeship program. And how did that help you in your newfound role?
Oh my! So here is something very interesting. While you're in the program, when you're preparing, learning, and all, I would say your hand is being held a little. They're not holding your hand and dragging you, but your hand is being held, like you're showing, okay, this is the way, this is what you do. But I kind of feel that Yellowtail feels, okay, we've spoon-fed you this first part. Now internship, this is the real world. Go out and but you're not left alone. But you are given the freedom or the expectation, the opportunity to find your way now. Because now that I'm working, I see that, and I'm grateful that, hey, they let us work things out. Because in the real world, nobody's going to spoon feed you. Nobody's going to tell you, do this, do that. But they have prepared us, and then they're like, okay, go do it. And you get better, and you get better as you put yourself in. So the internship, I'm so glad I followed the process, blood, sweat, and tears doing it, but it was worth it. Now that I work, it was worth every tear.
I would imagine that your ability to research and problem solve grew a lot during that process.
And take ownership, and there's also a pride that I did this. And then you look back, you're like, 2 years ago, I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do this, but now look at me, I can do this.
A great sense of accomplishment.
A sense of accomplishment, and that you can,
Well, so you did the internship, and from where I sit, I always say, your technical abilities are only half of what gets you the job. And now you have to prepare to go out there and show off your technical skills. Was the career services department able to help you in that role?
Yes. So very funny. The first time I tried to do it by myself, I was, not listening, just trying to do it by myself. But I tell you, when I fully engaged with the career services, Rob, I told you, okay, this is what I'm doing, and you just gave me a few points. Do this, do this, do that. I will tell you, when I followed your advice, like, I would say I won't say dreams, but one of the things I really wanted is recruiters chasing me. Because there's always been like, I'm the one chasing recruiters. Yeah. But once I followed the steps and the advice that you gave the career counselor, Rob, once I followed the advice, it was like a switch. And I was like, why didn't I do this before? Why didn't I know this? So
they started coming towards you.
They started coming, yes. Yeah. Flooding your phone, flooding your LinkedIn, reaching out. And I was like, bam, this is it. And there was a, quiet satisfaction. Yeah. And a sense of accomplishment that, it's the hard work, or the structure, the hard work, everything is paying off. I see it now. So excellent. Yeah.
Now, without asking you to reveal a lot of details or anything, but how has your financial standing, has that changed since you started your new role?
Yes, I can say absolutely yes.
Okay, enough said.
Enough said. I can say that. I can say that. I think I've done a video before and after, like before me hoping, not sure it's gonna work out, but this is the smile on somebody who it has worked.
I have one last question for you, Uzo, and that is, what advice would you have? Well, it's kind of a two-part question. So what advice would you have for those that are considering a career in tech, and why would you recommend Yellowtail to them?
Okay. There was something our instructor, one of our instructors, Terry, said that stuck with me. He's like, you need to know your why. And I think that why is what reminded me every day of what I was doing. He used to say, write it down and put it in front of us. So I would say that when I was learning, there were times where I almost picked up my computer out of frustration. And I felt like smashing because it's not getting in. But patience, I'm following the structure got me. So I will say, hey, is it easy? No, there's nothing good that you're not going to have to put in. But if you put in the work, Yellowtail has the structure. They have the structure in place. They're going to just trust the process. Go in, know your why. Why do I want to be in tech? Like for me, I wanted a career where there was no glass ceiling, where I could grow. Like I had my skills and I could sell it. I'm not at the mercy of anybody, of anything. I could always take this skill, move anywhere I go with it. Not like the pandemic that, the pandemic taught me a lot. I'm like, no, I can't be. Yeah, so I knew I wanted a set of skills. And I got that with Yellowtail, the Yellowtail program. And the best part, my why was I didn't want a glass ceiling. Like now, I know in 1 year, this is where I want to be. In the next year, if I learn these skills, I'm going to move on. Yeah. And my earning power will not be capped per se. The more I put in, the more I learn, the higher I go. And that was what was important. That was one of my whys. And then I had other personal whys. So know your why, be truthful to yourself, dig in, promise, I told myself that having a goal is like the promise I'm making to my future self. So every day I'm working.
That. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So yeah, I'm making a promise to my future self that this is what I see you as, and I'm going to do everything within my power today to get us to meet. So Yellowtail, I said, hey, if I follow the program, if I follow the structure, if I do my part, and then if I do my part, this is the future I wanted. This was my why. So I tell you, trust them, hand over, follow it, get in. Like me, you'll be smiling in. You will be worth it. Let me say.
That's incredibly good advice, Uzo, and congratulations again on your position. And I know that you will not be a stranger to Yellowtail. We will make sure to stay in touch, and I want to thank you as well for all your time.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you.
No problem.